All right, fellas, let's go ahead and turn over to the Eastern Conference with a recap of the Celtics 76ers game. The dynamic Boston Wings of Tatum and Brown carried the day, pouring in about 30 points each in a 109-101 victory. Gordon Hayward had the injury curse strike again, going down with an ankle injury, but Boston was able to make do. Philly did get 26 points and 16 rebounds from Joel Embiid, but the turnovers and perimeter defense sunk their hopes of overcoming the odds without the help of Ben Simmons. Game one seemed to go probably about how we expected. Do you see anything, such as the loss of Gordon Hayward, changing anything for game two?
Well, let's see. The loss of Gordon Hayward, no, but if you want to do the resurrection of Jesus, Armageddon, listen, my point is this: unless Tobias Harris get out of that grave that he laying in, it ain't happening. You out here, we depending on old Shaky, and he looked at Shaky. And listen, I'm not. Last night, all right. So here's my theory on this. So last night we all watching the game, and I text you guys. I'm like, book it. Philadelphia gonna win this. Tobias Harris. And before I could send that text, he was done. I thought it was a moment, it was a slither of that game where I looked at Tobias Harris and I said, oh, we about to get that max contract to Tobias Harris. Joel Embiid gonna see Harris going off and be like, oh, I got me somebody. Oh, it's time to turn up, baby. Let's roll. We in the bubble. And then the bubble burst. And then Tobias Harris went back to what he do. And I looked like a fool at the end of the game. So, as much as I would like to go, I'm lying. I wouldn't even like to go against the grain. Hell no. Look, this series is over. And I'm going to tell you why. Me and Jay talked about this before the game. The Celtics have a single ingredient that I like a whole lot that not all playoff teams have. Like, for example, Milwaukee don't have this. Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart will be the reason why the 76ers, they're going to be in the rearview mirror. I know what people are saying. Marcus Smart, are you kidding me? Like, why is he so important? Oh, he's more important than Jason Tatum. He's more important than Jaylen Brown. He's more important than Kemba Walker. Yes. And I'm going to tell you why. Not because of scoring. Not because of scoring. It's not that. Those guys are way better scorers. Those guys. It's about he will go down and do the little things that nobody wants to do. Jason Tatum don't want to be out here nagging at dudes and trying to get under their skin. He want a ball. Jaylen Brown, you need a guy like this. My best comparison is I compare him to what Draymond Green do for the Golden State Warriors. You need a guy that's willing to go out there, throw his body on the line, and start some trash, talk some trash, and don't really mind getting the tee and getting thrown out. And then even if he does, you have enough on that team where you can keep it rolling and hopefully capitalize off what he did to put you in that situation. Listen, Marcus Smart showed me something, and I think single-handedly him and the rest of the guys, don't get me wrong, Boston's a good team. I'm not saying it's like Marcus Smart is the guy that just they can't live without, but I do think he plays an important role. I seen that last night, and then I seen what Philly don't got. Like, I know we did our predictions before this game, but, if you can get a refund on players, you can't tell me Philadelphia won't be putting in a refund for Harris. Like, you gave me the wrong product, Amazon. This ain't the product that we seen on the website. What is this? That's what they would do with Tobias Harris. Because oh my God, he let me down last night. But to keep it short and sweet, no, I don't see anything changing. If anything, Embiid about to stop giving the rip, and then it's going to be unwatchable basketball. That's what might happen. That's the only change I see. But I don't see Philadelphia changing this, not one bit. This the Celtics. The Celtics got them in every – I don't even know where I can say other than Embiid himself. What other area or arena of the NBA playoffs could I give to the 76ers outside of Embiid? I can't give you anything else. I just can't do it. So with that said, and last night was the reason. Last night was the crime reason why you can't give the 76ers anything else. You can't, because no one else want to show up and really get into it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I like the guy Thabo. At least he played defense. But you got to kind of put the ball in the hoop. That's how basketball work. And, like, they weren't doing that enough. So, I don't know, man. But, no, I don't see no change, man. The Celtics going to ride this one on into the next round.
No change. No changes here. Nothing to see. By the way, Gordon Hayward, a lot of respect for him. He's a good player, but he's a luxury item on this team. He's their fourth scoring option. It's Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and then Kemba Walker. Do you really need a fourth guy who can give you 20 points in your starting lineup? No, not really. Which is why I've come to the conclusion that at this juncture in time, Marcus Smart is more critical to what the Celtics do than Gordon Hayward right now. It's not a knock on him, but it's just kind of the way it is. But as far as this series go, I got it going in 5. I think Embiid should get you a game. But we got to – listen, Embiid went 5 for 5 in the first quarter last night, and Philadelphia was right in the thick of that game. And then tell me why on earth, and especially with no Ben Simmons, do you only get him 10 shot attempts the rest of the game? And when I look at who's to blame for that, it's everybody. Embiid's got to be more assertive, demanding the basketball. Brett Brown's got to act like a coach. I don't know what he's doing over there with some of the things he's drawing up, or maybe he just gave up and is going to, collect unemployment next week. But some of the stuff he's drawing up just doesn't make any sense at all. But when you have no Ben Simmons and you have 2 max players who are they're just max players only by their contract. By their production, they are, average. They may as well – Al Horford's about a minimum wage player at this point with what he's giving you, with his minus 22 having self. I mean, it's just disgraceful. They got literally – when they came into this season, we was talking about 4 max-level players, and now they got 1. They got 1 max-level player, and Embiid, I don't even know if he's already, given up to some degree because he knows – it's probably not going to happen that he's going to be able to carry this team, because we went through it last week. We said Embiid's the best player in this series, but then we would go Tatum, Brown, Kemba, and I think we threw Hayward in there as well before we'd even come back to Tobias Harris, who I got to admit, I was slightly disappointed when I heard what you said last night. Oh, here come the Sixers. Here comes Tobias Harris. I was like, you got suckered into it, man. I'm telling you, this dude, the 76ers got suckered. Elton Brand got suckered into this. The Sixers got suckered into this. They really let Jimmy Butler run off to South Beach and hang out there and be the 4th seed. And he was the 3rd best player on their team last year. And they said, no, Jimmy's on the wrong side of 30, but Tobias is on the right side of 30, meaning he's not 30 yet. So we'll take Tobias. We'll sign all money. Go ahead.
No, but see, I'm not sure if that was the thing. I think Jimmy Butler told the 76ers no, because I think he was the first guy offered, and Jimmy Butler said, no, I'd rather do a sign and trade somewhere else. And they were stuck with Tobias Harris. I don't think they picked Tobias Harris over. I give him more respect than that.
That could have been it. But I've just seen too much of Tobias Harris to even remotely say, oh, Tobias, he's getting hot. And then, I at one point, I think Cody heard this. I said, oh, Tobias, he doing a little something. He must have got a good night's sleep last night. And then next thing you know, no, I guess he didn't get enough, because the 4th quarter, we couldn't find him. We out here putting in missing person reports. Couldn't find him out there when you really needed him.
He let me out.
It's just.
I was out there passing out flowers.
If it's not going to be Joel Embiid, it's not really going to be anybody. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, he put up 15, 8, and 8. I mean, I guess that looks nice. You got I guess you almost a triple-double. I'm being serious, though. I look at, if it's not going to be Embiid, I'd let Josh Richardson close games for you. That's where I'm at. That's how much I'm not in on Tobias Harris. But the Celtics, I mean, they are who I thought they were. This is exactly what I expected from them. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown combined for 61 points. I mean, they just doing what they do. Their young wings will determine what they do. And you got Kemba Walker, who can make he's capable of hitting clutch shots for you and giving you about 20 a game. I think they're going to be fine without Gordon Hayward. I don't think it changes my outlook on them, period. I still think I think the Eastern Conference Finals is my ceiling for them, although we may have to change that around depending on some other team who still has they haven't even really entered the bubble yet, as far as I'm concerned. But no chance for me. Boston wins this at 5, and it may not even get to 5 at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the box score, obviously Brown and Tatum stand out a lot. And like I said last week, this team is going as far as those two wings are going to take them, right? And Jaylen Brown had a good game because he was really intricate to float them in periods where Philly was kind of making that run for the second half. And he was, the guy that's next level star stuff, really, because if you're the guy that can get that, you can stop the bleeding, you can find a bucket when they're not, because we see, one dude makes a shot and then everyone's like, oh, I remember how to do that. And then, but when they're not falling, you're the guy that makes that first one that sparks, the momentum, gets things going again. That's some next level star stuff that we're seeing both out of Tatum and Brown now at times. The Celtics, they're really going to need it going forward as you get into some more tougher opponents. But despite the matchup, I think that Boston still has a lot to like for the rest of the series. A lot of people say, well, Philly isn't the best matchup for Boston, but I don't know. I see it a little bit different. I mean, they can destroy Philly on the perimeter, man. I mean, Boston got plenty of shots yesterday between off the dribble shots and your pick and roll where they were doing a lot of work. And they didn't even shoot the ball very well overall. I mean, they shot 42% from the floor, 32% from three, but it was plenty enough. And Philly is going to get a lot more creative on defense and get help on these screens. I mean, they were just kind of sitting back and letting them do their thing and letting the one guy just run through the screen and flop around, and that's not going to work.
And to that point, one of the things they're doing is when they involve Embiid on a screen roll, Embiid's just laying back. He's not challenging. So they're getting, when they come off them screens, there's just jumpers. They're easy.
Yeah, and the big men is kind of my second thing. And really, like you said, you already kind of lamented about Al Horford. And I think one of the problems is Al Horford's a center. This power forward stuff doesn't work well with him. I would be looking to put Tybalt into the lineup and let him, get his defense into the starting lineup and maybe try to rotate Horford and Embiid more, kind of split their minutes more where they're not overlapping as much, because I don't know, like, it just doesn't look like it's going to work. And the thing is, you're not making a lot of money on the offensive end with your double big man. You're going to do the thing together game. It's just, you're not getting much on the offensive end. So why not try to shake it up a little bit and do something different, because it ain't working, so. And the last thing is, one of the reasons Embiid's touches went down, they said this after the game, was the turnovers. I mean, Boston was swarming him on the double team, and they were getting a lot of turnovers off that. So Embiid's got to do better with that. He's either got to take care better of the ball, or he's got to get that kick back out sooner to someone who can shoot, which is another problem the Celtics or the 76ers have. They don't have a lot of shooters. So, but I mean, it's better than just losing the ball or just having 9 dudes fall on top of you. So, I don't know. The 76ers, just like you said, they don't look they're all in on this, and they are like they're partially checked out with Simmons' injury. So I'd be surprised they even won a game in the series at this point.